let's take a look at my summer manga haul part 1. Alright, so I'm calling this summer manga haul part 1 because I didn't put out my June manga haul earlier in the month of July, and I don't want to just double up and put June and July because it'll probably be a huge video, and I just don't want to do so much in one video. But this is my June manga haul. We're just calling it summer part 1. A lot of cool stuff that I picked up thanks to some sales that happened, and we'll just go through it. As always, I go through all the new releases first, and then I get into the older releases, and I like to go through publisher by publisher, from the publisher that I have the least amount of books to the one that I have the most amount of books. So I'm going to start with this stack right here. I've got a few publishers in this stack that I have like a small amount of books from. So let's see. Starting off, I have one book from Tokyo Pop, and that is Sengoku Yoko Volume 2. This has been fun so far. It's the same creator as like Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, World End Solte, Spirit Circle. It's one of his earlier works, and it's very just shonen adventure action type stuff. So if you liked any of those titles, check it out. I think in total it's like 17 volumes. So it is going to be kind of long for a current Tokyo Pop one. They do a lot of like single volume or short series. One book from Glacier Bay, and that was Ohuton's I'll Be Waiting at the Solution. This is a small like 50-page book, really interesting full color release. Just really well put together. I really love Glacier Bay Books releases. Fantastic stuff from them as always. And then one from Fantagraphics, which was Minami's Lover. I was very excited to get this one. Unfortunately, the book itself, the story and whatnot, were not really for me. I feel like I kind of understand, knowing a little bit more now than I did going into it about the author. I understand maybe what she was going for, but I just didn't really care for the narrative of it. Like, it's about a boyfriend whose girlfriend turns 6 inches tall, and kind of the stuff that they are going through, but like the way that he kind of treats her and infantilizes her is not really, I don't know, it's weird. I didn't really care for it, and the ending is very abrupt. So it wasn't for me. I can see the worth in it. I think I can understand. It has been adapted into 4 separate live action dramas. So I know that there's a lot of people that like it, but it just wasn't for me. That's okay. Not everything's gonna be my taste. Then we've got a few things, 4 things from Square Enix. First up, My Clueless First Friend Omnibus Volume 2. So this collects volumes 3 and 4 of the Japanese release. This is a cute series. Maybe you've been watching the anime. Just a couple of young friends doing young friend stuff. My Dress Up Darling, which volume is this? 9. It's almost in double digits with this one. A Man and His Cat, Volume 8. And Ragna Crimson, Volume 9. Now moving into the Yen Press stuff. I have one Yen Press book that I bought for myself this time, which is weird. It's weird that there's not more Yen Press books that I bought myself. No Longer Heroine, Volume 3. I really love this. It is a hilarious rom-com series. I've talked about it on here a couple times, but basically the main character thinks that she is supposed to be the main character of the story, of her own story, not the story that we're reading. But like, so she thinks whatever she wants to happen is what's going to happen, so the guy that she likes is the guy that she'll end up with inevitably. But then that doesn't happen, and it's kind of just a slap in the face to her. And I don't know, she's kind of a brat, and it's funny to see her reactions to that. It's a very funny series. Now, this is the Yen Press stack that they sent me. These are all the new like volume 1s from June. I didn't get these in time to show, or the volume 1s from July. I didn't get these in time to show in the July manga buyer's guide video, unfortunately, so I get to just talk about them now. The Devil is a Part-Timer official comic anthology, so just an anthology of comics in relation to this series, so if you're a fan of that franchise, that'll be good for you. Here's the Horimiya, the final page, what is the full? Memorial Book page 100. So this is an additional book. So they recently wrapped up publication of Horimiya, and this is like a fan book, full color with a lot of material in here, really interesting. If you're a fan of the franchise, you'll definitely want to pick this book up. This one I haven't gotten a chance to read yet, but I'm really intrigued. This is The Silent Witch. She basically is a very shy magic user who is so shy that she perfected the ability to use magic that she doesn't have to speak to use it, so that she doesn't have to talk around people, but then she, because of that, gets hired to do a certain type of job that requires someone who doesn't have to talk to use their magic. So I'm gonna read this one soon. I'm very interested in it. This one is Saint. No, I'm just a passing beast tamer. She is very powerful, but she just wants to be a beast tamer because she wants to spend time around cute and cuddly animals and stuff. I want to be a receptionist in this magical world. The title is exactly what it is. She wants to become the most capable receptionist. This is one of my most anticipated releases for the entire year, and again, I haven't gotten to read this one yet. This is The Summer Hikaru Dies. This one is a horror series, kind of a like cosmic eldritch horror type thing going on in here. They were advertising the heck out of this one at Anime Expo. It was really great to see. I'm gonna be reading that one in the next few days or so. Imitation, this is a new manhwa from them, but it's not part of the Eyes Press line. Honestly, wasn't crazy about this one. I read it and it wasn't really for me. The illustrations are beautiful, great color. If you're into more idol stuff, I think you might like this one, so definitely pick it up. It just wasn't for me. And this one also wasn't for me. I'm not into like Omegaverse. This is My Mate is a Feline Gentleman. So it's Omegaverse, but with like cat guys, cat boys. Like very humanized anthropomorphic cats. And it is a mature book. It was shrink wrapped, so keep that in mind. So that's everything from those publishers. Next up, I've got my stack of new books from 7 Seas. So this is all 7 Seas. This whole stack is about the same size as this one. At the top, we got volume 1 of What He Who Doesn't Believe in Fate Says. This was a romance dealing with the red string of fate that they believe in strongly in like Japan and other cultures. And he falls for someone who his string is not connected to. And so he's like, I don't believe in that. Like, I'm gonna try and like, I want to try and pursue her anyway, even if we're not fated to be together. I really liked the first volume. It was very interesting, and the way that it ended up, I very much want to see what happens next. Kimono Jihen, great shonen series. This is what, 6? Yeah, volume 6. Still going strong. If you are into shonen that use like yokai and stuff, definitely recommend that one. Kageki Shoujo. I still haven't gotten to start this one. This is volume 9. I need to start it soon because like all of my friends are reading it and I've just been sitting on it, so I'm guilty there. Made in Abyss, volume 11. I know volume 12 just went up for pre-order, so fans of this one were getting releases. Qualia the Purple. This is an all-in-one release, a single omnibus release of this. I think it's an adaptation of a light novel. It's kind of a sci-fi GL title. It was interesting. I probably won't ever read it again. I don't know, like, it was fine. It was fine. I didn't get a ton out of it. This next one, this is the last volume of Spriggan. Haven't read this one yet, but I've really loved this series. This is volume 4, the final 3-in-1, or however many in one omnibus edition. I can't wait to sit down and finally churn that out to finish the series. And then Tokyo Revengers, this is the, 6th omnibus edition, collecting 11 and 12. So we're closing in on the halfway point of Tokyo Revengers now. Really love this series. And then a big release, this was a highly anticipated one for me and many people, Homunculus, the first of 5 of these omnibus editions. These are 3-in-1s, even though it says 1 and 2, these are the first 2 volumes of the 10-volume edition, which is like the re-release in Japan. And originally it was 15 volumes. So this has the first 2 of the 10-volume edition or the first 3 of the 15-volume edition. There will be 5 in total. Just don't want people to be confused there. This one I also haven't gotten the chance to sit down and read. I fell behind on my reading because I was sick and I literally was like so exhausted that I couldn't even like stay awake to read stuff. It sucked. So I'm just now catching up. And then Killing Stalking Volume 3. This book is wild. It can be hard to read sometimes, but there's only 1 volume left, I believe. 4 should be the last one. Okay, so I'm gonna move these over to the side, but that was 7 Seas, as well as all the publishers I have just one or two or a few books from. And now we get to, I'm gonna go with Kodansha first, because even though the stack is like slightly higher than my Viz Media stack, I have more books from Viz because there's a couple of, or 3 different holding out on picking that one up. Now is a good time. Go-Go Loser Ranger was his volume 5. Very fun series. Whether you're a fan of Power Rangers or not, or Sentai or not, I think this is worth picking up. It's a really fun action series, kind of a twist on the Sentai hero genre, if you will. Does that count as a genre, like a subgenre, I guess? Anyway, very great twist on that. And it's by the same creator as Quintessential Quintuplets. Very different from the Quints, obviously, but if you're a fan of Quintessential Quintuplets, you'll probably be a fan of Go-Go Loser Ranger. Then we've got Eden Zero Volume 23 from Hiro Mashima, moving right along with this series. I will not be surprised if this gets an omnibus release soon. We recently, if you missed it, at Anime Expo, Kodansha announced, along with many other things, the omnibus editions 3-in-1s coming out for Fairy Tail that will go through the entirety of that series, as well as the currently running sequel series. So I wouldn't be surprised if we wind up getting Eden Zero afterwards. Orient Volume 15, this series, like, I never remember what's going on in that book. And honestly, I should probably have dropped it a while ago, but there's something, at this point, it's just a commitment that I've made. And it's like the only series that I'm reading, especially going that long into it, 15 volumes, where I'm like reading every volume and I'm like, this is fine. I don't really care. I don't remember what's going on between volumes. And then I keep going for it. One day, maybe I'll drop it. One day. Last Gender Volume 3. This is the final volume of this drama. This deals with a lot of like queer LGBTQ stuff with various characters that identify in different sexualities and as different genders. So if you're interested in anything like that, definitely pick this one up. It is really, really well done. It's very moving. Iruma-kun Volume 2. I'm really enjoying this one so far. Glad that it got released physically. This one I did not care for. This is Medaka Kuroiwa is Impervious to My Charms. I wanted to try it out. Thought maybe it'd be a fun little, you know, rom-com, heavy on the com, you know, maybe slightly ecchi, but I don't know. The characters themselves just don't do it for me. Like, I really didn't care for it at all reading that first volume. I don't think I'm gonna even pick up the second volume if I'm being honest. If you're a fan of it, I'm glad that it has its fans. I'm sure it's about to get an anime adaptation. If it hasn't been announced yet, it's probably gonna get one announced really soon. But yeah, not for me. Prophecy, the complete edition. This is an all-in-one omnibus edition of the series. This one was really interesting. I read this at like the beginning, sometime at early June, mid-June, I don't remember. I read it while I was at the beach at some point for Father's Day, that's what it was. And I thought that it was pretty interesting. It's a really good like crime series. If you haven't read it and you want a all-in-one crime series, definitely pick it up. I'm a little annoyed that it wasn't oversized. It would be nice if it was a larger trim. Whatever, it is what it is. And then volumes 13 and 14 of Drifting Dragons. I've read the first like 6 or 7 of these, so I need to catch up on that. One of my current favorite ongoing series, In the Clear, Moonlit Dusk. Such an amazing series, and this was an incredible volume. I haven't read volume 5 yet. I did get that just like a few days ago. I haven't gotten to read it yet, but volume 4, I already was loving this series, and volume 4 just took that and sent it even farther beyond. My love for it has grown so much just with this one volume. Just everything that I wanted, that I could want out of it. Like the drama, the relationship, like the tension between them. Like at the one point of the book, I was upset with some of the characters, and then by the end of it, I was giddy. Like it's so good. Like if you've never read any sort of like rom-com manga, I highly recommend checking out In the Clear Moonlit Dusk. It's also just so beautifully illustrated. So beautifully illustrated. Here's another one that I'm really enjoying. This is Quality Assurance in Another World Volume 2. I think Volume 3 is coming out in August. This one is also getting an anime adaptation at some point in the near future, I think next year. This one's really fun. It reminds me of like kinda like Dot Hack, where they're going into a video game. They're debuggers that are trying to fix issues with the game, but it's more of a fantasy setting, like a different type of fantasy setting than what the Dot Hack stuff was. But I really like it. I recommend it. Even if you're not into that kind of thing, I'd recommend trying it out. Personally, you might not like it, whatever, but you can at least try it out. This one was silly. I enjoyed the first volume, so I will pick up the next one. Saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement. Just like it says, she's saving gold for her retirement. She goes to another world. She finds out that she can take the gold from that world, save it in the real world. So she starts doing that. And then she starts like buying, like she buys like weapons, like guns and stuff to help her. Like, and that's funny to me, like the way that it's like this, you know, fantasy world, she's collecting gold and then she starts just getting weapons to like do her thing. So volume 2 is coming out, I think, in August, and I'm looking forward to continuing that and seeing how it goes. I think the anime has been happening somewhat recently. Shangri-La Frontier, this is volume 6. I haven't read this one yet, but I've been really loving the series. Highly recommend it. The Shangri-La Frontier anime is coming soon as well, so make sure that you get on top of it so you can be the cool kid in your group and you can be the one that's already read it, and all your friends are gonna be like, have you heard of Shangri-La Frontier? And you're like, heck yeah, I have. That one's also like a video game type thing where the kid is obsessed with playing video games. He's used to playing like crappy, easy to beat video games and just completely annihilating at them. But then he starts playing this new one that's a lot harder than what he's used to. And so it's interesting to see the challenges of what he goes through in that game. Shonen Note Volume 4, we're halfway through at this point. I haven't read Volume 4 yet, but this is a good drama series about a young boy who is a soprano. It's Shonen Note Boy Soprano. He sings soprano, so he has a high voice, but he's starting to go through puberty, and it's kind of the idea of like, what are you when the thing that you are like known for, your identity is kind of like known for, when that gets stripped from you, what are you? What do you have left? Kyoko Okazaki's River's Edge, finally available in English. I did not enjoy this as much as I hoped that I would. I am sorry to say. I'm a fan of other works of Okazaki's that I've read. This one didn't hit quite as well. Mileage might be different for you because many people really, really love this one. It didn't really hit for me as well as like Pink did, or like Helter Skelter. Anyway, moving on, Blue Lock. You know what Blue Lock is. I don't have to really explain it. Noragami Omnibus Volume, what is it, 6? Yeah, 6 out of, should be, it's gonna be 9? I think it's gonna be 9. 9 total Omnis. So we're not that far off from finishing, because the series ended recently in Japan, or is about to end in Japan. And it should be 27 total volumes in Japan. So it'll probably be a little while before we get the last one, but we are 2/3 done with the Omnis. I've been really enjoying this series so far. I think that Noragami is like criminally underrated because I honestly had never heard more than just a few people talking about it before the Omnis came out. I started picking it up. Like I would hear a couple of my friends and maybe some chatter from a few people online talking about it, but it is way worth checking out, more so than like the amount of talk I heard about it prior. 7 Deadly Sins Omnibus 10, so we're in the 30th volume now out of 41, 42, so there should be another like 4 of these, so we're also not too far off from finishing 7 Deadly Sins. And Saint Youngmen hardcover 10. I haven't gotten to read this one yet either, but I was actually behind. I hadn't read volumes 8 or 9. 7, 8, and 9? Was it 3 that I was behind? I think I was 3 volumes behind. Maybe only 2. I don't remember. But I was behind. Point being, I was behind. And I finally caught up because I needed to get ready for volume 10. And I did. And I'm excited because I'll fall behind on something and like kind of forget how much I love it. And getting to binge through several volumes, I get to remind myself, ooh, I really like this series. And that's kind of what happened there with Saint Youngmen. Fantastic. One of my favorite comedy manga. If you haven't read it and the idea of Jesus and Buddha being roommates in Japan sounds fun to you, then definitely pick it up. So I'm gonna move the Kodansha stuff over here, and then now Grabbing all the new Viz releases. So here's the last stack of new releases. And after we look at the new stuff, I'm gonna look at the, I did pick up some figures, some Blu-rays, and then the older releases that I got, specifically stuff from Right Stuff doing various sales, like the, I think they did some early birthday stuff and the 7 Seas sale. Anyway, so at the top of the stack, we've got Kirby's Manga Mania Volume 6. So if you're a fan of Kirby, definitely want to pick up this comedy series. Love's in Sight Volume 2. This is a fun, cute little rom-com about a bad boy who starts to kind of date a girl who is legally blind. I don't think she's 100% blind. She has a little bit of sight, but she can't see much at all. Very cute so far. I think it's only 8 or 10 volumes long, so it's not that much of a commitment. The final volume of Requiem of the Rose King, this is the fantasy drama, dark fantasy drama shoujo title that is not part of the shoujo beat line, interestingly enough. I don't know why they decided to do that, but this has absolutely, I don't want to open up for spoilers, but absolutely stunning artwork. Absolutely stunning. So 17 total volumes. Unfortunately, I think some of the volumes are out of print right now. And so if you want to get into it, you kind of have to wait for those or hunt for them or spend extra money on them, which always sucks. Anyway, My Love Makes Up Volume 8. I feel like this one's ending soon too, like 10 volumes or so. Frieren Volume 8, one of the best, one of the greatest, one of the GOATs. If you like fantasy at all, Frieren is a fantastic, very emotional, dramatic fantasy series. Fly Me to the Moon, talking about more like romance titles. And then Mission Yozakura Family, so we're in the Shonen Jump titles now. This is only Volume 5, so we're still catching up. We've got a ways to catch up on that one. Dandadan Volume 4, fantastic, hilarious series. Kaiju number 8, Volume 7, we're almost to the fun Kaiju number 8, Volume 8. I love Kaiju stuff, so obviously I love Kaiju number 8 as well. It's a very fun, very, very fun action series. Tista Volume 2, this is the last of this 2-volume series by the same creator, Tatsuya Endo, as Spy Family. So if you're a Spy Family fan and you want more Tatsuya Endo, pick up Tista. Endo also has another series, I think it's a 5-volume series, I forget the title of it, but it's coming out pretty soon as well. So if you read this and you like Spy Family and you like Tista, there's going to be more Endo for you soon. One Piece Volume 103, this has spoilers on the cover, but the anime is about to cover this as well, so timing was pretty good with them releasing the volume in English. But this is the big one. This is the big volume. 103 of One Piece. The Elusive Samurai volume was a 7. Volume 7, same creator's Assassination Classroom, in case you were not aware. I really love the series. It is incredibly, incredibly well animated, or well drawn. I don't want to do any spoilers on stuff, but suffice to say, it's beautifully well drawn. You can read it on the Shonen Jump app if you have a subscription. Blue Box, nice sports rom-com series. Definitely enjoy that one as well. The final volume of Dr. Stone. Final volume of Dr. Stone. I forgot that this was in this stack for this month. I really love the way that the series ended. I think it's fantastic. I love the series so much. If you've never read Dr. Stone, try it out on the app. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. It is like a kind of an action-adventure shonen series, but its focus is leaning less towards being a typical action-adventure shonen and being more, a little more insightful, a little more, trying to play around with science. And I know probably not every bit of science in there is very accurate, but I know at least some of it is. Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, another rom-com series, is a volume 8 out of, I think, 12 total. The series ended with like 12 volumes. This one's really fun, really cute. And Moriarty the Patriot, volume 12. This, if you are a fan of the Sherlock Holmes franchise at all, like any Sherlock Holmes material, definitely check this one out. It is a lot of fun. It's an interesting new interpretation of the Sherlock Holmes cast of characters. And as well, it pulls in some other things. Like there's a new James Bond and like MI6 in there that are really great. Goodbye Eri by Tatsuki Fujimoto, creator of course of Chainsaw Man, Fire Punch, Look Back. Amazing single volume series. If you haven't read it yet, definitely pick it up. It is a fantastic book. I highly recommend it. One of my absolute favorite manga of all time, Golden Kamuy. This is volume 29. 31 is the last one, so we're approaching the final volume. It's not too far off. I cannot wait for it to get the end of it. I haven't read the end of it. I don't know what happens in the end of it, but I can't wait to read it because it is, I firmly believe Golden Kamuy is one of the greatest manga series of all time. Beast Complex, Volume 3. If you're a fan of Beastars, make sure that you're picking up Beast Complex as well. This is the last volume we're going to get in a while because the chapters are released kind of not on a irregular release basis, but these have various single chapter stories about animals in the Beastars world. Insomniacs After School. This one is also ending soon. I don't know how many volumes, but here's the second volume of this one. I think the anime is currently airing, so it's getting some attention right now. Until I Love Myself, subtitled The Journey of a Non-Binary Manga Artist. This one is pretty heavy about, of course, what it says, a journey of a non-binary manga artist and kind of some pretty heavy things that they had to go through during work and stuff, working as an assistant for a creator. Definitely go into it knowing that it is a heavy topic. That's all I'm gonna say, but it is very well put together. One of my favorites right now, Alice in Borderland Volume 6. This is the 6th 2-in-1 out of 9. 9 2-in-1s will cover the entirety of that series. Absolutely loving it. Such a fun series. Fist of the North Star Volume 9. I think this is 17 total of these hardcovers. So we are over the halfway point for that one. Really great classic action shonen title. And Wolverine Snicked. This is technically not manga. I mean, it's literally not manga. It was published for Marvel in America. So it's not a manga, but it is by Tsutomu Nihei. And you get Nihei's full color artwork, which honestly, I think I would prefer for this to be black and white. Like there's some preview, or I think there's some black and white non-colored art at the back. And it looks phenomenal. Like if they just let it be closer to, you know, a typical manga, I think this would have been much better. The story is pretty flimsy, but it's just fun to see Nihei doing a Marvel character, you know? So those are all the new releases and stuff, all the manga and whatnot. So now we're gonna jump into the figures that I picked up, the Blu-rays, and then the older releases that I grabbed throughout the month of June. But first, a word from our sponsors. Now, I buy most of my manga, especially the new releases at Right Stuff Anime. They're fantastic. Like, I don't have many complaints at all about them. They have great prices, great shipping, great customer service. And they do ship worldwide. However, the shipping costs can sometimes be very restrictive because they're very expensive. Now, if you're somewhere else in the world, of course, it's great to know what manga retailers exist out there. And while I'm not familiar with retailers that exist in every part of the world, I am thankfully familiar with Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany, who graciously sponsors this channel month after month. Walt's Comic Shop does have a brick and mortar store located in Berlin, Germany, but they also do have an online storefront where they ship all across the EU. So if you're anywhere in the EU, you can purchase from them. And if you use the code TheOmnibusCollector at checkout on your first order of €40 or more, you'll get free shipping within the EU. Now you can check out their brick and mortar store. If you pop your head in, let them know the Omnibus Collector sent you, and they'll be happy to take care of you, of course. But they have a great, fantastic, very wide selection of manga as well as Western comic books online. And they're always adding more. The store is always expanding their selection of releases as much as they can. So please support my channel by checking out Walt's Comic Shop at waltscomicshop.com. Now let's return to my June haul. All right, so first up, let's look at some figures. I got a couple things that I won online at Tokyo Catch, which is one of those crane games that you play virtually. You might have caught me if you watch my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TheOmnibusCollector. I was playing on there and I spent like probably more than an hour, honestly, it was a significant amount, more than an hour, I think, just constantly losing and like not knowing what to do. But right after I got off, I was like, let me use the rest of the credits that I have. And I won 2 things. I won this plush Fuecoco from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And I also won this little power figure from Chainsaw Man. Both of these were fantastic pieces. They shipped to me for free after I won them. So yeah, if you want to check it out, check out Tokyo Catch and play some over there. I recommend checking it out. You know, you can win some pretty interesting prizes, some other like smaller plushes and stuff as well, but they do have some pretty cool things. Just have patience, because it can take a while to actually win one of those things. You have to kind of keep pushing the thing to try and get it to fall into the, you know, fall so that you can actually claim it. But it is legit. It's not rigged, I promise you. Next up, I've got, this is something that I've been waiting to be re-released, and now I'm waiting for the next 3/4 in the set to be re-released. And this is the Artifacts Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho. This is a fantastic figure. The rest of the team is being re-released, or some of them might be available now. I haven't checked, but this one was first, and I absolutely love this figure. It's fantastic, and it's going to be even better with the rest of his group. And speaking of a group, I've got the 4-person plus 1 dog team from Cowboy Bebop. So starting off, we got Spike Spiegel. These are the Pop-Up Parade figures. These are some of the best Pop-Up Parades, in my opinion, that I have seen. Really enjoy those. And here is Jet Black. He's great. He is swole as heck. He's got this removable gun. I believe it's removable, because I think I had to stick it in place. Then we've got, of course, Faye Valentine. She's looking great as well. Every little detail on this figure. Or is it her that had the removable gun? No, Spike had the removable gun. Okay, sorry. I think the other ones were already in place. And my favorite character is Edward, and she's got Ein in tow as well. Fantastic set. Again, these are the Pop-Up Parade figures. I think, so I got them on Right Stuff for about 40 bucks each. So if you are a fan of Cowboy Bebop, I do recommend picking them up. It's a much cheaper alternative than getting, like, there's like a really nice statue, but it is like $300 of like Faye and Spike together. You don't even get the whole team, you just get half of it. Anyway, so let's check out, I'm gonna clear these away, and then we'll check out what Blu-rays I picked up. All right, so I got one new release Blu-ray, and that is Urusei Yatsura Set 2. Set 3 just got announced by Discotech like yesterday, as of the time that I'm filming this. So if you are a fan of Urusei Yatsura, you'll definitely want to pick these up. Set 1 came out like a couple months ago. 2, I guess, will be out sometime in the next 3 or 4 months. I didn't see the release date, but they usually have a pretty quick turnaround time after they get announced. And it should be a total of 4. I believe it'll be a total of 4 sets. So that's the only new Blu-ray release that I got. And then there were sales going on at Right Stuff, as there tend to be. There was like early access to birthday sales. So I grabbed the rest of these from the early birthday sales. First up, Kamen Rider Black. This is probably a hole that I shouldn't start, but I really enjoyed Tokusatsu, and I wanted to at least get the classic stuff. I also love Shotaro Ishinomori, and I grew up watching the American version, like the Saban version of Kamen Rider. So, you know, whatever. They also had, I have the entire series on Blu-ray, but I never had the 2 movies, so I got the 2 Hunter x Hunter movies, Last Mission and Phantom Rouge. So got to add those. Those were on sale as well during the birthday. The rest of these, they're all birthday sale items, by the way, so I'm not going to repeat that. Then, Pokemon, the first 3 movies. Pokemon, the first movie, 2000, and Pokemon, the third movie. Or Pokemon 3, the movie. Love all 3 of these. Like many people, I grew up watching those, and I'm happy to have them because I haven't had them since the original VHS releases. So I'm glad to have them again in my collection in a more current format so that I can watch them whenever I want. Next up, we've got Gundam Wing. I've got the whole collection, so both sets 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, as well as Endless Waltz on Blu-ray. all of the Gundam stuff on Blu-ray was on sale during the Right Stuff birthday sale. So if you need any Gundam, pick them up now because they're still on sale, I believe, until the end of July. So you got a day or so left. But when I was growing up, I've only ever watched a few episodes of Gundam Wing. I never fully got into it, and I know that at this point it's not a lot of people's favorite. Like, a lot of my friends, at least right now, are like, Gundam Wing didn't really age that well, whatever. But I have nostalgia for it, and it's something that I never got to fully get into. And all of my friends when I was younger were super into it. And so kind of as a nostalgia, looking back at them and the good times we used to have, and my best friend who unfortunately passed 9 years ago, it was one of his favorite things ever. And so having it in my collection is another way that I can kind of have a little piece of him with me and finally get to celebrate something that he really loved. So not to get super emotional, but I'm glad I finally pulled the trigger on that one, and I can kind of relive a piece of my childhood, or live a piece of my childhood that I never got to when I was actually a child. And then this, of course, was also on sale and was pretty cheap, was the Hellsing, the original anime, before they did the Ultimate adaptation, which accurately adapts the manga. First up, we had the 13 episode series that is fine, it's fun, but it goes off the rails pretty quickly and like abandons the actual plot of the series. But you know what? It's still fun, and I thought it's cheap. I'll go ahead and pick it up so I can add it to the collection. I already have the Hellsing Ultimate and the Hellsing manga, so let's go ahead and do it. I'm gonna go pick up the last stacks of manga. These are the older releases of manga, and then we'll be done with this video. Okay, let's go through the last stacks here. We've got a few older releases. One from Dark Horse. This is Next World Volume 1 by Osamu Tezuka. I still need to get Volume 2 of Next World. That one's a bit rarer than this, but I was trying to fill out my Tezuka collection, and I'm pretty close to having everything that's available in English. Obviously, the big spot that's missing is Phoenix. Natsume's Book of Friends Volume 2 finally coming back into print. Volume 1 got reprinted last November is when I got it. And finally Volume 2 gets reprinted like 8 months later or something. So I wish they'd hurry up, because like I think Volume 3, 4, 5 or so, like I'm missing a lot of the early ones. So hopefully those get reprinted soon. Here's another old one. This is the Blood, the Last Vampire 2002. This is part of the Blood franchise. This was published by Viz under the Pulp line. The rest of the Blood related, like Blood Plus, Blood C, were all published by Dark Horse. So I thought I'd pick this one up because I found it for like really cheap. It was like cover price. What's cover price? Like 17 bucks or something? Yeah, $15.95. Someone was selling it for that on eBay, so I went ahead and picked it up. And here's something that I've been wanting to grab for a while, but it's been unavailable until recently, and that is the first One Piece art book, Color Walk Compendium, East Blue to Skypiea. So I've had the second and third one for a while. Finally got the first one back in print. I actually ordered this one a while ago on Amazon, and the seller like said that they shipped it, and then it said that it had arrived, and then it never arrived, and I don't know. This stack is from the Right Stuff birthday sale, like the early access, and then this stack is from their 7 Seas sale. From the birthday sale, I got City, volumes 1 through 13, so that entire series by Keiichi Arawi, the same creator that did Nichijou. So if you're a fan of Nichijou, you might want to pick up City. I have not read this one yet. I just got it last month, so I haven't gotten the chance to, but I wanted to add to the Keiichi Arawi collection. And they had the whole thing, and it was, I looked elsewhere online, and it was definitely the cheapest price to get the whole 13 volume series. 10, 11, 12, and 13. So that's everything of that series from Vertical. All right, now from the last stack, we've got stuff from the 7 Seas sale they had going on right before the birthday sale. Actually, the top one is Correspondence from the End of the Universe Volume 3, which is a new release, but I put it in the wrong stack. It's a fun sci-fi, by the way, if you haven't checked it out. First up, we have volumes 2, 3, 5, and 6 of Spirit Circle. I mentioned this series earlier in the video. I already have volume 1. Volume 4 is going to be a pain in the butt to grab, but I decided to grab these since they were on sale, just in case any of the rest of them start getting hard to find. And hopefully, with the way that they've been doing things lately over at 7Seas, they'll reprint that series anyway, and so I can grab volume 4 when that happens. The next two were recommendations from my friend Gio, who, if you watch my second channel, the Omnibus Collectors Network, we go live together on Thursday nights, sometimes with our friend Colleen from Colleen's Manga Recommendations, or Colleen's Manga Rex, sorry. But we go live on Thursdays to talk about manga and stuff, and this series, as well as the next one or two that he recommended to me, so I picked them up when I saw that they were on sale. First up is Yakuza Reincarnation. I got the first 5 volumes of this series. I think volume 6 also just came out. I just haven't grabbed it yet. And then The Tunnel of Summer, The Exit of Goodbyes, Ultramarine. So this is a 4-volume series. Again, a Gio recommendation. Gio's channel is the Manga Geekdom. So if you want to follow him individually, you can check him out over there. He does a lot of manga and anime content. So especially if you want to see some anime content, since I don't really do that, you can go check him out for that. Then I've got a couple of releases from Asumiko Nakamura, which is the creator behind the series Tales of the Kingdom, which I really love. Her artwork is fantastic, and here we have, first up is, I forget the title, A White Rose in Bloom Volume 1. Volume 2 is also available right now, I believe, but they didn't have it available at the time that I bought this. So that is a GL series, and then this one, Classmates, is a complete in 6 volumes BL series. So this one, each volume is, I think, a different stage of these boys' lives. Volume 1 is titled Do Kyusei. Volume 3 is Sotsugyo Sei, or Winter. And then Volume 3 is Sotsugyo Sei Spring. Volume 4 is Sora and Hara. And Volume 5 is OB, Occupation to Beloved. And finally, Volume 6 is Blanc. It's the final volume. So they do get progressively thicker as the series goes on, and the prices go up on each one as well. Then I've got the single volume Sadako-san and Sadako-chan. This is the character from The Ring. And a 4-volume GL series that recently wrapped up, Donuts Under the Crescent Moon. There's Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. I've heard many cute things about this one, and it's also only 4 volumes, so it's an easy one to, you know, decide to pick up. And from Ryoko Ikeda, the creator of Rose of Versailles, the single volume release, Claudine. So that's the end of the haul. That's everything that I picked up in the month of June. Actually, I take that back. There's about 10 books that I have in a box that I didn't feel like searching through all the boxes, but I accidentally put them in a box that was needed to be sorted into my library. And yeah, so there's about 10 volumes that I didn't get to show. So I apologize for that, but whatever. That's it for the entire haul, everything that I bought in June. I'll be showing my July haul pretty soon as well, probably within the next week and a half. Just depends on when my last orders from July get delivered. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you press the subscribe button, and I hope that you'll watch some of my other content. If you're regular here, thanks for coming back. I always appreciate y'all coming to spend time with me. I hope the video was entertaining, and maybe you found a couple new things to pick up from what I've been talking about in this video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.